Okay guys, so here's another update on my ADRs 250. Finally got the bark busters in. These are just cheap eBay ones. One breakaway lever because I can't quite get the other one to fit, and I had to really trim down in here to get it to fit properly. I just put these new grips on. What else do I have for this? Oh, that throttle tube. I went ahead and got a little CNC machine once, a little cheapo Chinese one. But it fixed the problem with my throttle cable. So here she is in all her glory. Now I have her running 40-to-1, full synthetic. And I just had to do a little temporary fix real quick, because last time I went riding, I broke my rear brake cable. So to all you purists out there, I'm sorry. I know this is this is a war crime, but you know, it works. It works well. So I think the next thing on my list is to get this properly jetted. It's running really rich. When I go to kickstart it, it'll sometimes just kick back at me, and I've got some wicked bruises to prove it on my feet. Not to mention it just kind of stutters a little bit. It's hard to explain, but I know it's jetted too rich. My needle is halfway, and but yeah, there's a little clicking noise in here. I'm not sure what it's from just yet, but I'm gonna soon address it. But what I've noticed is that in this little the little gearbox here, and I don't know if you could see it, you won't be able to. There's a little bit of surface rust on one of those gears right here coming from the engine. Oil keeps coming out clean though, so I'm just gonna leave it there because trail bike, sorry. Top end's fresh, runs great, minus the little bogging. I think I've got some loose hardware dotted around this bike because I hear, yeah, there's one. I always hear rattling. That's for that little ball joint that holds the control arm on. Let's see, what else do I have to go over? I'm thinking of putting a 6-inch little LED light bar here, because I do a lot of night riding. You know, it's fall, I get off work at 7, it gets dark at 5, so I want to go ride and have fun. So I'm gonna look for ways to do that. I saw a gentleman who put a light bar here and was running it off of his drill batteries, where he chopped up the receiving end of a donor drill and placed it on his bike somewhere so that he could just slide on his drill batteries. So I've got a Milwaukee 18-volt system that I might do that with, or I just might find a way to tap into the original lines, because this is an RS 250, not an RM. So there is actually a lighting coil from, because there used to be a, correct me if I'm wrong, but there should be a headlight here originally. But I'm considering going and getting some DC plastics, the full kit for $200, and then spray painting my tank Suzuki yellow in the time period correct color. But I'll probably wait till I break another plastic or really want to do good on this bike. I suspect if I do that, I'll rip this thing totally down to the frame, replace every single nut and bolt with grade 8s, strip the paint. This is touched up paint. Do it the right way, maybe get it vapor blasted, and fix any welds that I find unfit. I don't know what this is about, but that shouldn't be like that. But I'm also considering, I mean, just take a look at this. These frame rails are perfect. I'm also considering welding on a skid plate to these 3 tubes here. Figuring something out and running it right here, because I don't want to just grenade this engine. Oh, hello. I've never noticed you before. That's not so good. Okay, found another problem. But, yeah, so. Anyways, this is my trail bike, my fun bike. Don't mind that. And I'm gonna set you up and let's see if I can get it started. See if I can put you in some good positioning here. Let me get a rock. Okay. All right. You'll tell real fast that the jetting's off in this, and I've got a little squeak from the back wheel. I think that's my brakes dragging. It's done that since I've gotten it, and I've already taken apart the back wheel, repacked the bearings and everything, so I know it's the brakes that's the issue here. Very finicky to start up. Okay, so you saw the startup process, and really I just need to address a couple issues. I don't know if this is aluminum, that flywheel magneto cover, but I guess I'll have to, if it's steel I'll weld it, if it's aluminum I'll pack it with JB Weld and call it a day. I need new tires, not to mention, well, not only that they're old and they're dry rotting, I need new spokes. I try to knock off a lot of the rust, but that's just, I mean, I can't adjust them. And they're rusty, so when I get $70 to drop on a spoke kit, I'll definitely do that. one pinch flat and this tube's over. But I don't really want to, I guess I could cut that out. It's not really doing much. I'll cut that out. Yeah, so it's got an aftermarket flat slide in there, like a Kean clone. Oh wait, maybe it, can't tell if it says it or not. It looks like it said Kean on it, but it's got to be a Chinese one. It says PWK on the side. But I actually have the original carb, and I went ahead and went through it and cleaned it and replaced a lot of the O-rings in there. The third owner who had this went ahead and put this carburetor on. Oh well, shoot, that's a terrible angle. They went ahead and put that carb on over there because the main jet in this one was clogged and corroded. I cleaned it out and got it good. But this is the original Mikuni carb that came on it. And just look at the bolt. I mean, look at the slide on that. That's huge. You know, I've cleaned this thing up as best as I can for a 40-year-old carburetor. The float works. The only really thing that's messed up with it is there's a little nick right here, but I sealed this gasket with some Indian head shellac. I suspect it'll be fine. I mean, I know I'm cutting corners with this bike. I don't have the money to drop on a brand spanking new Husqvarna oil-injected two-stroke bike, right? But this is something for me to have fun on and grow on. I don't need that kind of bike to learn how to ride well. I need to... My theory behind it is if I've got a bike that I can get running and I know everything about and I can work on it and just get everything running the right way and continue to further my knowledge in repairing these things and riding them and getting good at control and just controlling them and, you know, further my riding abilities, then when I get the money, you better believe that I will buy a nice bike. But for now, Big Bird, the Dookie Suzuki, will remain in my garage. I can't tell you guys how much I miss that Yamaha, though. You know you're gonna regret something. I mean, I hear a bunch of people who've owned those bikes, nothing but regrets from selling them, whether they had a KE 100, a DT 100, or I forget what I think it's a TC 90s. I don't know what what Yamaha made, but you know, I know I'm gonna regret it. I do regret it now, but maybe I'll come across one in the future. Maybe I'll get a Kawasaki and see what that's all about, because I heard that they were the powerhouses of the times because they're rotary valves. So, but anyway, thanks for tuning in. This is my trail bike. Sorry for all the purists out there who are, you know, biting their nails as they watch me molest this bike. But you have to realize I appreciate this bike for what it is. Maybe someday in the cards it'll be restored, if it's in the cards, sorry, to its former glory. But you have to realize that I have looked across eBay, British sites. I mean, dude, I've looked everywhere just to find parts for these. The headlights are non-existent. You can't find them anymore. You want a Kickstarter? Sorry, it's got to be secondhand. Shoot. I mean, crank seals and bearings are really the only thing that's still made in production, because, I mean, they work with other bikes. You know, you want the little cage for the front sprocket? Not happening. You have to realize that parts for these bikes are getting incredibly rare, not to mention that this bike was only made in production for 2 years. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of the parts that, you know, translate over from the PE 250s and then the RM 250s at the time, but you have to realize that, you know, considering that these bikes are 40 years old, that's just not in the cards. I mean, some of the parts are just impossible to find. These spoke kits back here, $75 before tax, shipped from Taiwan. I mean, there's so many things, like this air boot here. I looked around, couldn't find one. I had to make this myself, connected to the old one, because the previous owner had chopped it for God only knows why. I looked around for weeks, couldn't find one. Finally, one came up, $12. And guess what? I mean, I will soon be ordering that, but at the same time, it's like, well, yeah, until then, I gotta make do. And that goes for the rest of the bike. I mean, there are just some things that I can't really get. I can't really buy new parts for. I want to get this original side plastics. These came off of an Apollo 110 Chinese pit bike because I got new plastic for it. I just wanted something here, so it didn't look like a zombie. But anyway, you know, one day I'll take this pipe. I'll not hand paint it, but I'll paint it good. This engine, I'll paint it well. It's gonna look good. This is gonna be a complete bike one day. But until that happens, you know, this is for me to have fun on, and you know, just something to enjoy. So, but I appreciate those who like the what you call content that I'm putting out. It's not much, but it's just something that it's the stuff that I do, that I figured that I'll share with the rest of you, because this is you know, that's a special thing. There's not many of those around, and I know there's a lot of good old boys out there who'd like to see an RS 250 like the one they had back in the day. You know, as Kaplan Cycles puts it, you know, back in the day, you'd go pack a bag, maybe a couple blunts, and head off into the woods for hours and hours and hours, run through a whole tank in a day, just have fun. Obviously, I'm not into that stuff, but you know, for me, it's kids my age aren't doing that now. They're playing Modern Warfare. They're studying, getting their liberal arts degrees. No, I mean, I want to have fun. I want to have, you know, that's the way it should be. So, I hope you guys can understand what I'm doing to this thing. But if you ever come across any parts, or somebody you know has some of these parts that they want to get rid of, shoot, I'll give you my email and we can hook something up, because I would love to put, you know, OEM or aftermarket, you know, made parts on this thing. But you find me a muffler, shoot, man, I'll get it. They don't make them anymore. Nobody has them in stock. And if you find one in stock, it's someone's had just pulled it out of a garage and it's been sitting there for the past 20 years. So just let me know. If you have any suggestions on this bike, feel free to send them my way. I'm more than happy to hear it, and I might just go ahead and use your ideas, and I love hearing from you guys, so just let me know. All right, well, I'm signing off. I might go ride for a little bit before my shift starts, so ride while there's sun out. So you guys have a good rest of your day, and I hope to see you around a little bit more often. Have a good one.